Good morning. What is going on, good people? How are you this gloomy day in Florida? At least it's a gloomy day here in Florida. I believe it rained early this morning, like around 5 a.m. I'm not 100% sure because I was asleep. But anywho, I am sitting outside of my daughter's school because I am preparing to go on a field trip with her class, and I'm still trying to get myself together. I'm putting on my shoes. We are going to Tree Hill. I've never heard of it, but I spoke with her teacher the other day and she told me basically it's like a nature preserve type of situation. So this will be outdoors, which is kind of sort of right up my alley. I really love nature. I didn't always love nature. I didn't always love the outdoors, should I say. I was more of a, I don't want to sweat. I don't like bugs. I don't like to be dirty. And I'm still that way, but I have a great appreciation for nature and outdoors. The only thing is, like I said, it rained earlier, so I'm kind of afraid that it might be like nasty and soggy, and I'm not interested in you know, being in mud. So I'm gonna try my best to stay out of it and steer clear of any type of nasty, muddy, soggy situations if I don't have to be a part of that. I probably wore the wrong shoes, but it's all good. It's just shoes. I can buy another pair, right? Even though I don't want to, because you know your girl cheap. I hope I'm in the frame because I'm bending down trying to tie my shoe, because I'm gonna be going in the building in a few minutes. It's supposed to leave at 9:15, I think. I hope it's 9:15, because when they sent home the permission slip, they sent home two separate forms. One for this field trip and one for a field trip coming up in 2 weeks, or no, it's next week. And so one field trip started at 9:15, the other field trip started at 10:30. Let's just hope this is a 9:15 trip. I feel like it will be, because I think it's gonna take longer as far as like getting there and all of that jazz. But here's the thing, it's 9:10 and the school bus is not here. I'm sitting to where I can see the side of the building. I do see a school bus over here driving, so I don't know if it's gonna go down and come around and back up to grab everyone. But yeah, I'm not seeing no transportation. But anyway, let me hurry up and get out of here. I just wanted to come on and say good morning to you guys and see how you were doing. But anyway, let me hurry up and go inside the school and get me a visitor's badge and a chaperone badge, or whatever you want to call it, and let me find out what's what, because if this thing don't start at 10:30, then it's gonna be problems, because I gotta hurry up and get back.
Walking along branches, walking along fences, things like that. They also have what is called a prehensile tail. Okay? They have a prehensile tail that they use to wrap. See how it's got a little knot right now? Okay? They have a prehensile tail that they can use to wrap around things. Can you turn around this way? I want to know if they have webbed feet. Do they have webbed feet? Yes. Okay, number one, I'm asking this young lady. So
I got him. He's not going anywhere near you. I got him.
To see if they have webbed feet. Do they have webbed feet? Hi. You want to show her those feet again?
time for that.
All right. Oh gosh. He's staying. No. I know. I got to stop right here.
In the way, or they get scared and jump, they can swim away safely. We got two big turtles here. One's right here, one's right there. Do not pick those. No, that's medium size. Do not pick the two big ones up. You can touch the shells, but don't pick them up.
They jump out your hand. He did not eat your finger. Oh my god, this is. Ow. How's that hurt? That just hurt.
Okay, Nala, come over here, Nala, and feed it. Y'all, I'm back from this field trip. No words can describe what I just experienced. And I don't want you to think that it was the worst thing in the world. But when I tell y'all these some bad A kids, these are some bad A kids. My daughter is far from perfect. Far. I mean, come on, let's just be real. Nobody's perfect. But when I tell you these some bad kids, so like I said, we went to Tree Hill Nature Center, and it was basically this huge nature preserve, and they had lots of animals, and they had several animals and all kinds of things that you could pet, some that you couldn't pet, yada yada yada. They gave a big presentation. We did a few trails. We went inside and they held some turtles and all kinds of stuff. It was a nice trip, honestly. It was a nice place, especially for people who are nature lovers. Very nice place. It's definitely somewhere I would consider taking my child again on my own. But these kids, let's start out with the beginning of the trip. So the bus left at around 9:20, 9:25, something like that. As soon as we get on the bus, these kids stunk so bad. First thing in the morning. And I'm not at all blaming these children because they're children. I blame their parents. How do you allow your child to not bathe? How do you not wash your children's clothes and things of that nature? Because that's exactly what they smell like. It was awful. And it was real cold this morning, like for real cold. And when I tell you, I just went ahead and put the window down on the bus because I couldn't take that funk. Like, no ma'am. This, y'all stink. This is awful. My daughter was like, what is that smell? I'm like, your classmates. Shoot, that's who it is. Your kids should not be smelling rank first thing in the morning. They have not gone anywhere and played outside or done anything. That is a pet peeve of mine for anybody to smell bad, specifically an adult. And again, these are children, but their adult parents or adult guardians should be following up, checking behind them to make sure that their hygiene is up to par. And it definitely was not. And I think it was some little girls, and that's even worse. You know, as women, we have all types of issues and whatnot going on, and I know a lot of these little girls, you know, their bodies are maturing and things of that nature, and they experiencing a lot of different things. So that's why you got to be even more so on them. That is nasty. That is so nasty. Oh my God, it's just awful. Okay, so let me get out the funky kids. Okay, so next, let's get on the bus ride. So the kids are kids. I mean, they have a lot of energy. Of course, they're excited because they're not in class. They're happy to be going on a field trip, and that's all understandable. But these kids were yelling like they weren't even around each other. Like, you would think that they were on a whole separate bus. Like, that's how loud they were. And the teacher kept trying to get them to go down. She kept saying, you guys need to go down to a level 1. They were on level 25. Like, it was too much. But then you got all these different kids, specifically the girls. I don't even understand why our young girls start this type of foolishness at this age, because again, it was mainly the girls. They were going ham. Like, I thought they was about to start fist fighting, and it was more than 1 or 2 girls. Like, they was like, I don't like her. I don't want her sitting by me. You better shut up. I'm about to bust you in your blah blah blah. Like, it was about to go down. I'm like, wait. I was like, what is the problem? Why are y'all yelling? Number one, why are y'all, treating each other like this? Y'all too young for this. Like, what could this 8-year-old, 9-year-old possibly have done to piss you off like that bad for you to be treating one another like this? Like, this is too much. I mean, it was just crazy. Like, they was going in, man. Like, for real. I was like, oh my God. Don't get me wrong, I got in my share of scuffles when I was in school. I got in more than my fair share of scuffles when I was in school and on the bus. But it was on another level. Okay, so then we make it to the nature spot. And look at old boy up here. Y'all, I'm about to show y'all this dude. This dude be getting it in, dancing. Let me see if I could get him. Let me see if I can go slow enough to get him. The dude holding the sign right here. Anyway, back to these kids. So we get to the nature spot, and it's really cold, and they have an amphitheater outside, so that makes it even worse because we had to be outside and not in a warm building. So we're out here, the wind is blowing, and kids are just being kids. Another school came. They were also 3rd graders. They said that they had three classes that they brought with them. We only brought 2. So my daughter's class, her homeroom teacher is her English teacher, and her math teacher is the other teacher that came his homeroom class. They're right beside each other. And so we only brought just those 2 classes. And like I said, the other school, they said that they brought 3 classes with them. But these kids were probably just as rowdy as the ones that were with us. And her math teacher told me 2 separate times about just how well behaved my child is. And I know she is, because she does all of her acting up with me. Like, typical kid, but that's okay. I'm glad to know that when she's out in public, she's representing me well, she's representing the family well, and she's behaving and doing the things that we have taught her to do and to not do. And I pray for my daughter every day. I think I shared this with you guys in another video. I pray for my daughter every day that she shies away from negativity, drama, and foolishness, because it's just unnecessary. And so it just kind of made me feel good to know that, she is being a good girl in school, which I knew she was anyway, because of course they get conduct grades, and she has an A. She pretty much always has an A. I mean, every now and then, she try to get spodioti, and she might come home with like a B- or something like that. But of course we get it in check, and she's right back to normal. But anyway, no matter how much I complain about my daughter and the things that she's not doing, like, you just always have a greater appreciation when you see the opposite. And what I saw today was the opposite. Like, these kids were out of control. It's very clear that they are not receiving any type of structure or discipline at home, and it's just sad. It's so sad that it's like that, you know. And her teacher, her homeroom teacher, she thanked me so much for coming and participating. Oh, and let me trip you out about this. So it was myself for my daughter's class. It was myself and another mom, right? And she began to talk to me throughout the trip. And let's just say, you know, you try not to pass judgment on people. At least I do. I try my best to be as open-minded as possible about most situations. I didn't always used to think that way, and I haven't perfected it, but I at least try my best to be open-minded about things. But anyway, so I didn't want to just judge her based off of her appearance. But anyway, she came on a trip and she started talking to me. And at first it was cool, but then the more she talked, the more I realized just what type of person that she more than likely is. She started out cool, but then she just pretty much I could tell she was kind of trying to get me to co-sign with the stuff that she was saying. Like she was saying how, like, she was like, you know, my daughter comes home and tells me that your daughter is her best friend, which my daughter has said the same thing a couple of times. Like, oh, you know, what's her name? I don't want to say this little girl's name on here, but what's her name? You know, she's my best friend. She's so quiet. She's so sweet. Blah blah blah. And the few times that I have been around her is she is very quiet and very sweet. So the mom then gets to expounding on the fact that the little girl, you know, doesn't make friends easily. She's like, you know, she shies away from people, which is nothing wrong with that. You know, she's kind of a loner. I, to an extent, am a little bit of a loner. I definitely am an introvert, contrary to popular belief. I prefer to be by myself. That's how I am. And I don't gather my energy from the people that surround me. Like, I just like to be alone for the most part. And anyway, the whole point in this was, you know, I was like, okay, you know, I can understand how that goes. You know, she just chooses to be alone, and that's okay. It's not like she's antisocial. She does have friends. It's just that, you know, she's not one of those people that, you know, there's some people in the world that they just have never ever met a stranger. They befriend everybody, and she's not one of those people, and neither am I. But come on, man, now you want to speed up? Like, really? So anyway, so the mom then starts to tell me how, you know, she hates the teachers this year, which it kind of shocked me and threw me off guard, because honestly, I love the teachers this year. I didn't say anything to her about it. I just said, oh, okay. And that was it. But she was just like, I hate them. She was like, I want to switch my daughter's school, and they never have anything nice to say about my kid, and every time she comes home, you know, she has a report about her and blah blah blah. And I'm like, really? What's her face? So then she starts to tell me how her daughter has ODD. I've never heard of ODD until today, which it stands for, ODD stands for oppositional defiant disorder. And she said it's in the same family as like ADD and ADHD. I'm not going to get on to my thoughts about ADD and ADHD. I do believe that there is a such disorder, but I I do believe that people and certain doctors love to label children this as kind of a cop-out instead of really trying to figure out and see what the problem is. Because everybody don't have ADD, ADHD, or ODD, or whatever other D out there. You know, but everybody, because they have short patience and this, that, that, and the other, they try to label these kids so they can, in order to medicate them and give them drugs instead of really trying to get down to the nitty-gritty and figure out what the problem is and what can I do to remedy this. And I really don't agree with that, but I'm not going to get into that. That's just my opinion. You don't have to agree with me. I'm not at all saying this to get people to co-sign and like what I'm saying. I'm just telling you how I personally feel inside. There are people out there who need it, but again, I feel like people try to make it something that it's not. So anyway, so then she gets into all of this, and she was like, oh, you can't tell my daughter no, you can't tell her she can't have this, and it's just gonna be, it's going down, and how she got 7 children total, and the little girl is the baby of the bunch. And I mean, she going in talking about all this different stuff and about how, basically how the teachers, I guess, picking on her daughter. But I'm like, you just said it, the little girl got a problem. These people aren't picking on her, in my opinion anyway. So she said she ended up having a conference with them, and the teachers were questioning her about, you know, things that could possibly be wrong with her. And she said that the math teacher suggested that maybe the little girl might have a little bit of schizophrenia. And she said she just got so offended. And I don't know, maybe it's just me. I'm not easily offended by things, number one, especially when it's not true. And number two, I'm like, the way she was explaining the story to me, and I was not there in person, so I can't say what's what, but she kind of was explaining it in a sense like they were coming at her in a more of a manner of inquiry. It wasn't that they were trying to point fingers or point the blame or label the child any sort of way, so to speak. It was more of like, you know, this is what's happening in class, these are the signs, you know, is it possible? I know she has X, Y, and Z, you know, have you had her tested for this? I mean, and the lady was like pissed off. She was going, and I'm thinking, wow, why are you even on this trip? I mean, I'm not saying that she can't come on a trip with her daughter, but I'm like, dang, like, I mean, she's saying all of this, the teacher's sitting right there, and she just going ham about these teachers and how they saying this and how they saying that, and she was like, yeah, I had to go off on his aid, and I'm just like, oh my, in my head, of course, I don't think I made any facial expressions, but in my mind, I was like, oh my glory, like, what is going down? Like, this is too much. So she was saying that she wanted to switch little girl school, but she didn't want the little girl to lose magnet status and all of this, and this pretty much went on and on and on and on, and I'm like, okay, all right, lady, like, we just got a few more hours. Let's just make it back to the school, and you know. And I said, well, you might not want to switch to little girl school. I said, you might want to just wait it out. And, you know, they're already almost halfway through the school year. I was like, next year she'll, you know, move on to the 4th grade, and she won't have these teachers anymore. You won't have to worry about them. But, you know, what if she goes to the 4th grade and she has other teachers that feel the same way or observe the same things, and, you know, and then she got a beef with them too because of the things that might be going on with her daughter. It's just a lot, you know, and it was just crazy. So yeah, I had that to deal with, and it was a few good kids on the trip. A lot of the kids remember me from previous years at the school. My daughter's been going to this same school, kindergarten, 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. So a lot of the kids remember me. They were asking, you know, can I be with you? You know, And I was like, sure, you know, no problem, because I try to treat everybody's kids good. I really do. But it's one thing I cannot tolerate, and that's bad, disrespectful children. And it was definitely some bad, disrespectful children on this trip. And it's just a lot. My heart goes out to these teachers. They actually seemed like they were at their wits' end in trying to get these kids to act accordingly and in a certain manner. But I feel bad for them. But it is what it is, you know. I'm glad to know that my daughter is doing good. I'm hoping that, you know, she may help be a positive influence to somebody else. I don't know, but I'm really excited the fact that my kid is doing good. So that makes me feel great as a parent. Lets me know that I'm doing something right. But nonetheless, I left the school and I'm actually headed to work. I'm around the corner. But I just wanted to come on and let y'all know, like, what happened on the trip. I'm sure I missed something, but overall it was a good trip. I'm glad I went. I'm glad I took the time out with my child. I plan to go on more trips in the future. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Like I said, I'm getting ready to pull up, so I will see you guys later.